Grab your blades, Drucchi. There is no time for torment. Just sever their lives.
Welcome to the channel, guys. I am War Master Moloch, and this is an early campaign start guide to everyone's favourite Mom I'd like to be torture screwed by, Mommy Morathi of the Dark Elf Cult of Pleasure. Now, her campaign is one that I covered last year, but because of the most recent DLC and the addition of a certain Kislevite witch over here, Mother Ostankya, that campaign has now changed pretty dramatically because Ostankya is extremely powerful and needs to be taken out quickly. Whereas in the previous video, we dealt with Ss'ildra Tor and then we went down and attacked Skeggi, went after the lizard men. It's changed, basically. Ostankya is not a character that's particularly aggressive towards you, but the longer you let her live, the more she builds up stacks of Akshina ambushers, the more she builds up hexes and buffs to use on her own armies. And when you eventually fight her, she'll just throw hexes at basically everything that you've got and buffs at everything she's got, and it becomes an enormous pain in the ass to kill her. So what we're going to do is take her out early, and I'm going to show you how to do that. It takes a lot of caution because Kislevite armies, because they're so archer focused and because they have that little moment of unbreakability before they rout, they can be extremely difficult for Dark Elves to deal with. So I'll show you how to take them out good and early so that you can then get on with enjoying the rest of your campaign. So let's get started here. We're going to put the assassin in this army. We're going to go here to our research and we will click on Revel in Suffering, because that way you're just going for growth at both stages and it's your first 10 turns sorted out. And then we're going to have our first fight, which looks fairly simple, except Morathi no longer has a Hydra, so it's actually kind of a pain in the ass if you don't know what you're doing. I'll show you how to fight this. The main thing you need to deal with is the Manticore. There's a trick to that. I'll show you what it is. So in this battle, what you want to do, set yourself up down here in the water and put your shades here. And this is important. Take them off of fire at will. Leave them well back off of fire at will. Then you put your dread spears round about here. You want them to be within firing range. Yeah, that'll just about do it. And you put your assassin here, and again, take him off of fire at will. You take your better melee units, the demonettes and the witch elves, and you hide them in the trees here, and you put Morathi here. So what we're doing here is we're setting a trap for the Manticore. If you let these fire at will, they will get spotted. I'm going to move these a little bit further forward, actually. A little bit further forward even than that. If you let them fire at will, they'll fire at the Manticore, and the Manticore is liable to attack them instead. What you want them to do, what you want the Manticore to do, is to come in, get attacked by these, get bogged down, and then you start shooting it with the shades until it rampages and you eventually kill it. Meanwhile, you then ambush everything else with these units here, and you use Morathi to cast spells. It's a very easy battle for the most part. Let's just go through it. Now, don't be afraid to bring Morathi forward. I know the theory is, what if the Manticore attacks you? He doesn't. He just doesn't attack you. He wants to stay close to his army. So you can exploit that by just putting Melkos Mystifying Miasma. See, it looks like he ghosts a charge there, but then he doesn't do it. You can just use Melkos Mystifying Miasma there and just keep whittling away at these units. The ideal one to hit would obviously be the Dark Shards, but they're further back, so it's not an option. I'm going to have this on higher speed because it's not a particularly complicated battle, but you just want to get it right so you have as few casualties as possible, because we're going to be moving fast in this campaign. There's another Melkoth's on there. Once you've got one unit under pressure, just keep hitting that one. And now the Manticore's coming at us. Now he'll want to hit Morathi, but as soon as he sees the assassin, he'll go for him instead. See, now, we pause that quickly. Not pause, but there we go. We've got him in place here. And we turn the shades onto fire at will. We'll go for Melkoth's on that one again. Now, obviously, we're taking some friendly fire damage there, but that's okay. And now we're going to bring these out. There we go, he's rampaging. I'm going to send the Witch Elves after that one and the General, and we're going to send the Demonettes in. General's going for the Assassin. Let's try and bog that down. Tie down those Dark Shards. We're just going to drive these into Rampage. And send the Shades over there. And there we go. They're all rampaging, so that's going great. We'll start shooting these.
Morathi.
The Dread Spears are like the least important unit on here. And just sending the Assassin over there bogs down the ranged unit and stops them from firing. That's what we call in the business foreshadowing, guys, because we're going to be doing a lot of this. Now we're going to send everyone in. Well, certainly the Demonettes. No, we'll send in everyone now, because all we've got to do now is rout the General. Melkoth doesn't do a huge amount on single entities, but it's fine. We're going to make those chase and try and get some shots into the back of those routing units. Very nearly done. She's about to go. And she's obviously rampaging because the Witch Elves got at her. Nicely done. There we go. Easy fight. I normally fight that a lot better, to be honest. Have fewer casualties. I wouldn't normally be playing in high speed, but obviously I'm recording this time, so go like that. We are going to take the slaves here, of course, because we need plenty of those at the early stages of this campaign. And now we're going to go straight to attacking Petrified Forest. And this one's much easier. I'll only show you little bits of this battle. The main thing is to take out the Dark Shards early, which is an absolute stroll. Let's get to it. This battle is absolute cake, but we want to keep our casualties to a minimum, so I'm just going to show you the basics of the beginning. Shades here, so that they can attack the Dark Shards immediately. In fact, we'll go a little bit further away than that, because they'll still be within range. Want to maximise our shooting capabilities. The Assassin can go there. I like to put him in skirmish mode. And we will put our good melee over there. Our spears here. And Morathi here. And we start the battle while in control of the Shades, because we want to make sure we hit these immediately. Just absolutely pepper them. Assassin, go forward. Because it's only really the Dark Shards you have to worry about doing any damage to you, because they're the ones that have got the ability to hit you from range, because we're faster than everything else they've got. Just have to keep them on message sometimes. And that should be enough to shatter that unit. We're going to move back now. Morathi's now going to come forward and get some spells in just to slow down our pursuers here. And that's pretty much it for the battle, guys. You don't really need to see the rest. And there we go. Nice simple battle. You basically just lure them backwards, shooting them as they come, and then you hit them with these guys in an ambush, basically. It's very, very simple. But again, minimal casualties. Now this one we're just going to occupy. It's not that valuable, and we want to keep our public order in Titan Peaks relatively strong. For Morathi, go with Melkoth's Mystifying Miasma and Life Leeching. It might seem tempting to put another one into Melkoth, seeing as it's her only real direct damage spell until you get up to Pit of Shades. But we have other priorities here, and getting to Pit of Shades is far more important, so we kind of have to tough it out with bad magic at the start. For the assassin, go for enlist slaves. Enlist. It makes it sound like he's some sort of high school recruiter going around inviting people to consider the exciting career opportunities that exist in Dark Elf slavery. No. Okay. You want to go to your barracks, and with the Dark Elf speed building mechanic, you want to take that up to tier 2 immediately, because that'll enable you to recruit 2 masters and start getting them leveled up as soon as possible. Now we've got Spiteful. That's a good one for us. We'll take that. Obviously, you're going to recruit them irrespective of what traits they've got. Just get some masters in. I am going to say let's go for the additional armor because they mostly tank for me in this early stage. So we've got 2 masters. And now we're going to recruit another general. And we're going to go for a Supreme Sorceress of Shadows. Tough is okay. So we'll get her in. Low loyalty, whatever. Now for our recruitment, if you've watched any of my other videos, you know that I tend to go early stages with Dark Shards without shields because it's a fairly substantial cost saving. However, because Kislev is so ranged focused and they have the Akshina ambushers, which are so OP, it's worth paying the extra for the shields at this stage. So 2 units of Dark Shards with shields for this turn. And we're going to be recruiting a lot of those guys, don't you worry about that. And we will end the turn there. So turn 2, embed the masters in Morathi's army.
My talents. I've skills to show.
And we're going to attack Ss'ildra Tor. We'll bring in the other general in a second. Now, the reason why we've got the other general in, because it might seem a bit wasteful at this moment in time, because we don't exactly need her. It's about getting her leveled up so she's useful when we're fighting Mother Ostankya. Look, Ostankya is already coming forward in a hurry. This might actually be a good time to mention what can happen here. So there's 2 options. By the time we arrive at the Moonshard to attack, it may still be held by Bleakholds, but very, very unlikely to be, and may well fall right in front of us while we're there. But quite often, Ostankya's taken the whole of Bleakholds out straight away, and she's holding this entire province. It can change a lot from campaign to campaign. The plan that I'm giving you here will see you through whichever version you wind up facing. I'll tell you more about that as we go in. Now, I like to fight this one manually. You do have to watch out because they frequently have a spellcaster. In this instance, it's a beast spellcaster. Death is worse because obviously that will then hit your heroes, Morathi. We don't want her weakened. This is a very simple battle. It's very similar to previous ones that we fought, but I'll show you the beginning. That's all you really need to see. This is all going to look very, very familiar with a couple of little changes. Now we're going to put Dark Shards down here. Ambush Force here. We're going to put the Shades here. Because there's no Manticore to deal with this time. And we're going to put the Assassin here. In skirmish mode. Just in case I lose concentration on them. We'll put Spears here and the Masters here. Now, they've got a Beast Sorceress, so that means she's liable to cast Flock of Doom on the Shades. So that means we want to keep the heroes of Morathi further forward. If you've got, we'll put Morathi there, by the way. If they've got a Death Sorceress instead, then you want to be the reverse. You want the Shades to be leading the way so that basically the cast that they use is minimized in terms of damage, because Flock of Doom will hurt these guys, won't really hurt the single entities. If they've got Spirit Leech, it's the single entities you need to protect. I don't really think you need to see much more here. It's literally just the same thing over again. Just back them off through the water, shooting them whenever you've got space to do so, and then running again, because we're much faster than they are. Take them out. Obviously take out the Dark Shards as soon as you can. Yeah, simple as that. Just lured them over here into the trap. Nice and easy. Got plenty of experience for our guys off that. That will do. So again for this one, While it is tempting always to take the loot and occupy option to get some extra slaves in, we just want to occupy. You just want to get that extra money and that little bit of, get the territory in, but without worrying about your public order. We will loot and occupy when we get to Grey Rock Point in all likelihood, but that's when it's worth it and we've got the time to deal with any insurrection issues. For Morathi, I like Soulblight, so go for that. For the Assassin, go for Scavenge. And for the Masters, Stimulate Growth. That's a big part of why we're getting them in early. We want to level them up for their growth boosting capacity straight away. As you can see, she almost gained a level from there. We want to get her to the Penumbral Pendulum as soon as possible. That's why we've recruited her so early. We are going to get 2 more units of Dark Shards with shields for Morathi. And that's the end of turn 2. Now for this turn, movement is a major factor that we want to take into consideration. So Morathi is obviously going to come over here to Iron Spike. And we're going to hold up on here. This is one that we can actually auto-resolve now, so we don't have to fight everything manually here. Now, Alarielle, you want to have come close enough that she can reinforce Morathi so she gets experience, but then pop out to do the recruitment here, because you won't get a recruitment building from here. Or in the unlikely event that you do get one, you won't get one that gives you Dark Shards. So we're going to auto-resolve that. As you can see, bullshit on the casualties. We would never have taken that many casualties if we were fighting that manually. This one, we're going to sack. There's a reason for that. We'll come to it later. And then Morathi is just going to occupy. For Morathi's skills, we'll go for Soulblight. For the Assassin, I'm going to go Hawk-Eyed. I quite like Hawk-Eyed. And for the Masters, I like to go for Training. Let's get our army as experienced as possible, as soon as possible. And Alarielle now has enough skill to get Melkos Mystifying Miasma, enough experience, I should say. And she can now come to here. And she can recruit 2 units of Dark Shards with shields for us. Now, at this stage, we've got enough slaves to hit the slave drive diktat. So we're going to do that because we want the growth that comes here. The sooner we can get Quintex up to tier 3, the better. But that's basically it for this turn. Turn 4. Alarielle comes to here. And then Morathi, sometimes her range of movement doesn't allow us to hit Grey Rock Point next turn. For some weird reason, I've never figured out quite why. It varies so much. So I'm going to just bring Morathi to here. In Force March, Alarielle stands there. And Alarielle will recruit the 2 units of Dark Shards with shields that we want for this turn. Now we're going to go and speak to some rats. And in fact, while we're at it, let's just get some money out of Bleak Holds. Don't worry about it. We won't have to stick to this because Bleak Holds won't last very long. Clarkeron, do they like us enough? Not yet. Draclacoven, I don't tend to deal with them that much because they're just not that valuable and they don't last very long. Exoatl, just ignore them. Clan Gritus. We're going to sell them Iron Spike. As you can see, they're very happy to have it, so we're going to take that. We're not going to do any additional deals with them. They might not be your priority for attacking, but you're probably going to wipe them out at some point, so why bother making deals with them? I mean, if you're feeling money's a bit tight, and it does get tight in this campaign, then sure, maybe do a trade agreement with them and then break it later on when you're a bit more free with your money. And one last thing we're going to do, let's have a word with Seducers of Slaanesh and see if they like us enough. Apparently not. We are not paying that for that trade. Nakari, what a dick, am I right? Okay. End the turn. Now, as you can see from the map here, Ostankya has already taken the Moon Shard, which means her next step is going to be to take Arnheim. She does it in different orders from one campaign to the rest, so don't worry about it, because this plan will see you through either one of them, and I'll explain the options that you got. Now, Morathi can just hit straight away, so we're going to take her to here. As you can see, they've got a reasonable little force in there. It says decisive victory, but here's the thing. Obviously, we've got some units to add to that. You take too many casualties off this to be moving as fast as I want to, so we are going to fight this one manually. You don't really need to watch it, though. Just put all of the units in there with Morathi. Like I say, this is pretty simple. The main thing to take out is the Dark Shards early on, and the rest will get shot to hell. What is she? She's a Death Sorceress, so I'm going to... No, or is it Dark? That's Dark, isn't it? Well, that's nothing to worry about at all, except for Chill Wind. But that's fine. We'll take her out easily. It's not really one you need to watch. And there we go. Basically the same policy. Just make them chase you right the way back across the map. We had a little tight moment there where some shades got killed, but nothing major. We did fine there. That will do. Okay, so here we're going to loot and occupy.
Supreme sorceress of Grant. I am Morathi.
And with Morathi, what we're going to do here, let's just give this girl the Penumbral Pendulum first. Obviously, you want that. That can potentially be very useful against Ostankya's forces. Ss'ildra Tor are gone. We're going to take the Witch Elves off of Morathi. Just because they're fast, so when they're coming in as reinforcements, they can attack faster. For Morathi, we're going to go with Doom and Darkness. Hang on a second. No, we're not. We're going to go Hecate's Blessing, because we want First Sorceress as soon as possible. We're going to go with Enlist Slaves for the Assassin. And for the Masters, just go with Indomitable Will. The extra leadership and charge bonus will be useful. And for Morathi, we're going to go with more Dark Shards with Shields. Very predictable, right? Now, you might have noticed here that I'm only on 19 units in Morathi's army. You might be thinking, that seems a bit strange. Why not have it at max? There's a reason for that, and I'll explain that to you now. We're basically going to come by sea round to here, and then we're going to come ashore at the Moon Shard. Now, it won't let you attack the Moon Shard directly from the sea. You basically have to come here, make landfall here, and then attack the Moon Shard afterwards in the following turn. What that means is you're exposed to potentially massive attacks from Ostankya, the garrison of the Moon Shard, any supporting armies that she got, which may be loaded down with Akshina ambushers, which are incredibly OP at the moment. So by having 19 units in there and having a general following us, we can refuse to control large armies if she's attacking us with more than 20 units. That means that her army is then diminished, which gives us more time to wear them down piecemeal. And by going with 19 rather than 20 in Morathi's army, that means that the spellcaster will come onto the scene as the first reinforcement, which means that we then get the Penumbral Pendulum against Ostankya's forces when they're at their strongest. Bear in mind, it might be that she doesn't attack us with everything, but it's happened in the past, and by God was I happy I had this girl coming in as reinforcements early, because the Penumbral Pendulum can make a huge difference against those lines of Cossars when you stick one right along the line and it wipes the floor with them. So that's why Morathi needs to stay 1 unit below maximum. Now, for our commandment here, we're going to go growth because, again, our main priority is building up this area. And just to keep public order in line, we are going to do some repairs here. The others we have allowed to repair themselves effectively. Now, that's the end of this turn. So we're on turn 6. Morathi will now head over to here.
By my desires.
We're just going to take... let's go with performs better in battle. We might get something useful here. Cool, that's going to be useful in that battle. Don't like factor that into any of your calculations here. It's not necessarily something you will get in your campaign. In a way, I almost wish I didn't get that there, but hey. It's always nice, and obviously you take it if you can. We'll start building up the ancient city of Quintex to tier 3, but we're not going to slave boost it now. Because we're going to go to Sacrifice to Cain. We've got just enough slaves here because we looted and occupied Grey Rock Point. We have just enough slaves here to get Dark Conduit, so we're going to get that. Just means that we can't build up Quintex straight away. And we're just going to wait here. Now, technically, you probably could get yourself on land straight away, but I feel that potentially exposes you. You don't want Ostankya to attack this one first, the smaller army first. You want to be able to get in place with your shooting guys. So, be patient. And that is the end of turn 6. Bleakholds have been wiped out. That's good, because it means we no longer have to worry about dealing with any of their settlements. We're going to bring Morathi to about here, which should just be outside of the garrison line here. So they'll have to bring this army out to fight us if they attack us. Now, here's the thing. When you come onto their land, they are very, very aggressive, so they're very likely to attack us now. That's why it's important that we make all these setup moves early. And end the turn. They didn't attack us over the end turn. That's presumably because Ostankya's over here. They like to have her involved when they're fighting major characters. That's good for us, but bear in mind, you are prepped and ready if they did decide to attack you. You're outside of the range of the garrison here, so you wouldn't have to worry about quite as many units. They'd have to bring these guys out of there and attack you with their other army. So you'd have been in good shape regardless. You just don't control large armies. Force them to fight you with a smaller force. We're going to declare war on them now. Obviously, we're not going to take that because close victory is nowhere near good enough, because Ostankya's starting army and Ostankya herself, very, very, very difficult to deal with. Now, our other spellcaster, we're going to bring to about there. I just want to position her so that they're less likely to attack her over the end turn with the other army, if they're close enough to do so. So we're going to fight this manually, and I'll show you how to fight Kislevite ranged forces. So let's get to it. So they've thwarted our hopes that they might give us a chance to not control large armies against a much larger portion of their forces, and thereby wipe out more all in one hit. However, we are going to make the best of it here, because that means that this fight, while tricky, is not really hard, if you know what I mean. So we're going to put our demonettes over here in the forest, relatively deep, because there's a lot of units here, and Kislev likes to spread out wide. So they're going to approach in a wide arc, spread out, and shoot us as much as possible. Now, remember I mentioned foreshadowing earlier on? Well, this is what I was referring to. So we're going to do a bit of arranging here. So Morathi goes in the middle with that, and there we go. Okay, this is our melee line. We're going to go Master, Spears, Morathi, Assassin in melee mode, Spears, Master again. We're going to check our range here. Yep, shooting range for pretty much everything there. Reinforcements are coming in from here. It's fine. These guys will take a while to reach us. The only really fast unit they've got are the dervishes. So I'm not even going to move that round. It gives us a chance to get the witch elves in the trees over here with the demonettes. And we'll bring the spellcaster over here. So what we want to do, as you can see, we've got these guys lined up in front. We want to bait the Kossars into stopping and shooting at them. They'll probably shoot at the Dread Spears first. They don't tend to emphasize single entities early on. Now from there, what you do is you advance your single entities and well, all of your melee, and you engage the Kossars in battle. And that way you force them to stop shooting. While that's going on, you bring these units forward, the ranged units, into firing range, and you start shooting them while they're tied down by the melee. That means that you do maximum damage while taking as little harm yourself as possible. Now, part of what we're going to do, we're going to move along to this side here, effectively a wall, the edge of the map there, to protect ourselves from one side, stop them spreading out too much in one direction, and lure them more into this area so that we can attack them through the trees here. But that's basically it, guys. Just tie the range up and then shoot them down yourself. Something to bear in mind, you might be thinking, why aren't you using the shades for something sneaky? Well, the answer is because they don't have shields. So you can take a fair bit of damage on them, and they're too important for that. So I'm going to protect them a little bit. Now, you can't see them moving, but they will be moving. There you go. They've just started moving. Reinforcements are fine. Now, I'm not going to go forward to get some casts in on them. Well, not particularly far forward anyway, just because I know that they have dervishes in there. Here we go. And I'll let Morathi go forward a little bit just so I can see what's what. Could use the assassin for that as well, admittedly. But I would quite like for the dervishes to attack us sooner. And obviously we've got Dark Conduit that we can use as well to just blow up blobs if we manage to engage more than one unit. Yeah, it's not worth getting that close. Now that I can see they're coming, it's fine. I'll move back. And we'll turn these round a little bit. Not as close as that. Not as close as that. Get to about there. But I do want the angle to shoot the units that will come around here. Because they'll probably go quite close to the edge of the map themselves. See how wide they're coming in? How many spaces there are? That's why I've got the demonettes deep. Almost time for our reinforcements to come in. Okay, they're in. So, which elves get to there? She needs to come to here. Yeah, we're protecting the shades. Get them a little bit closer than that. And I feel like the demonettes can now come closer because they're clearly choosing this space. Because we moved over to the side, they're coming through here rather than down on this slope. That means that we can get these units to here, concealed, and that will tie down one set of range there. These dervishes are going to take a beating very quickly. And as you can see, they've started shooting. Let's just get rid of the dervishes before we move. They'll go fast. Okay, let's move. He needs to go to there. The master needs to go to there. I'm going to say send that to there. And then these guys need to come forward to about there. Where's the other spellcaster? There we go. She can now hit that through there. They can go after that unit. Ah, that had a nasty little bounce there, but that's okay. She should actually go to there to tie them down. And now we're going to cast that there. And I'm going to turn the shades round to start hitting that lot.
Scream for me! Master Drucchi! We are ready! Dark shards! Understood. As you say.
Oh, he's going after Morathi. Move her out the way. God damn it.
Morathi moves.
I'm going to hit a Soul Blight on him.
Feel my vengeance. For vengeance.
And there we go. That's more or less done. We're just waiting for them to finish off. Had a few moments in which guard mode was causing us some trouble there. Should really take them off of guard mode for this because it's a very aggressive tactic once they get close to the attack line. But there you go. That's how you deal with these Kislevites and keep damage to an absolute minimum. They haven't done very much damage to us at all there, really. Now, it is extremely unlikely that the AI is going to be able to attack us here. We're going to go for Loot and Occupy there. Just to be certain, though, Alarielle is going to stand
What is this foolishness?
just there, which means that they'll wind up hitting the settlement before they hit her.
I watch from the shadows.
And now we're going to go first Sorceress, and then Doom and Darkness. First Sorceress is important because this enables us to recruit a spellcaster, which then gives Morathi one of her legendary items and a bunch of money and slaves. We're going to go Scavenge for the Assassin. We're going to go Stimulate Growth for both of the Masters. Very nice.
Yes. Unparalleled power.
Okay, let's get these. I'm going to go Fire in this instance. We've got Shadows at the moment. Dark isn't great. Yeah, we'll go Fire and Death because they're each useful for these. So we'll go Vicious for Fire.
Servant of Hecate.
We'll go Fireball the Burning Head because she gets them at rank 3, which is nice. Alarielle, let's give her cheaper Penumbral Pendulum.
I am the first sorcerer.
And then this one, we'll go Death again because that will be useful for when dealing with Ostankya. Let's go for Perceptive just so we can get some more legendary items. And we're going to put both points into Spirit Leech to make it cheaper. And at this stage, because we've just got the Amber Amulet, which gives her regeneration, Morathi that is, we've got a bunch of money and we've got a bunch of slaves. That means that we can take Ancient City of Quintex up to tier 3 and we can start building the slave pens, which means that we can get a Black Ark sooner rather than later. We don't want to put any more money into any other parts of this territory because it might be that you get attacked by beastmen. So don't put any growth or money into the smaller settlements. It's all about Quintex. And that's the end of this turn. Now this is a substantial army and she's liable to have reinforcements as well because that's what she's like, the bitch. Let's give Alarielle the Demonettes and put both spellcasters into Morathi's army.
My power is yours. All shall be mine.
I'm going to move Morathi to here.
Ambition makes haste.
And I'm going to put Alarielle behind
Seeking entertainment.
because we want her to, we want Ostankya to be more likely to attack Morathi than Alarielle. And everything here is fine, but the public order issue means that I'm going to go for Fights to the Death. It's caused by these beastmen. Like I said, you run the risk of beastmen coming in and attacking these settlements. So just don't worry about it. Just keep the public order under control while you're dealing with the whole Ostankya situation. But that's it for this turn. There's no recruitment that's really worth doing here. It's just Dread Spears. Not worth it. And no sooner had I paused the recording than good old Ostankya came in. Now she's got a couple of hexes. So reduce speed. On that one, and changes to their missile resistance. Reduce weapon strength and potential for rampage there. We'll just keep them out of melee. It's fine. But yeah, they have attacked the main army first, which was exactly what we wanted. And now I get to show you that previous battle strategy against the real big kahuna here, which is Ostankya herself with all the buffs that she comes with and the incarnate elemental of beasts and all that other good shit that causes you a lot of problems. Let's get to the fight. So it's the same map from a different direction here. This is the worst direction in terms of defensive position. So we're going to arrange ourselves here, eventually, with a view to getting ourselves against that back wall as like a starting idea. Obviously the shades can get themselves back there regardless. Got our reinforcements coming in. And we'll arrange all of our other stuff. The Fire Sorceress I'm going to keep outside of that because she's going to go up here and look for opportunities to cast on these guys. Because her magic does the most damage overall. Go like that, 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 and that. Okay, let's see how they form up at the start. They do have reinforcements coming from down here, which is why I'm not setting up in this position specifically, because if they start their main army up here, we might have to turn to face this and wind up getting flanked here. Like, it'd be lovely if they were all coming from this direction, because we'd shoot them coming down this hill. But we can't take chances. Okay, they've all started out over there. That means we're going to change up a little bit. Bar Girl, get moving. Shadies, get going. Go to there. God damn it. Okay, get them moving. Now, I'm not hugely convinced by our ability to get down any of our really good spells here, but I am going to try getting some fireballs onto the incarnate elemental of beasts just to try and injure it. Make it quicker to kill. Don't go into the trees, you absolute prick. Yeah, she got knocked over. And it went into the trees. I fucking hate that. Her to there.
Kill everything.
Hags, sorceress. Sorceress. Moving forward. Battle call.
Just can't move them fast enough there.
Destruction comes.
And get those to there. It's going to be difficult to get a good cast off here, but we're going to try. Just do something with it, for Christ's sake. Definitely could have been worse. Definitely could have been worse. Okay, they look like they're rearranging a bit here, so we need to prepare for that. Pretty good. Yep, no complaints there. That would have been a nicer one to hit, actually, looking at that little blob there. But we are going to catch them with the glance. And a bit of a rebound. Nice. Okay, things in the woods coming in. Take them out.
Drucchi, attack! Dread spears! Magic!
Sorceress of Grond! My revenge comes!
Shades! The enemy attempts magic! Their mages blood for Cain!
Witch Elves! Rip!
Where's the Incarnate Elemental?
Pull back!
Morathi!
Right, let's start tying them down.
Sorceress of Grond! Beyond compare! Bleed for me!
Dealers
And let's move these forward now.
carnage awaits! On to slaughter!
Come on! King! Death sensation! Sweet murderesses! Black! At once! Supreme sorceress!
And you go for them. Where's the Fire Sorceress? Actually, don't have enough magic yet. That's okay. One of our units is rampaging because, of course, it is because of that stupid fucking hex. Right, we've got some. Can't see what we're doing in here, but let's just get those round to there.
Eager for blood!
Missile fire! The weaklings use battle ready!
Get after them.
Gone! Look out!
You get after them.
All powerful!
You tie them down. You tie them down.
Servant of Hecate!
Master Drucchi!
Where are our shades? Let's get them further forward now. They're not really in that much danger.
Brides of Cain! Femme fatale! I'll enjoy this! For the Dark Prince!
Master Drucchi! Strike them down, comrades! The weaklings
Get them over to there.
no qualms!
You attack them.
Morathi!
Dark shards!
Okay, this is all looking pretty clean. Which means we now drag these over to here.
Supreme sorceress!
Where to? Dealers in death!
And we send these in to go and fight all of this stuff.
With haste!
Enemy spells!
Sorceress of Grond! Oriol Sarios!
Magic! Look out! Enemy spells! Drucchi! Suffering for all! Enemy chant!
Just try retreating those units into there. Let's get our others into this fight.
Ready!
By your
What
command!
the hell? They're getting a bit closer than I intended there. Probably my fault.
By Cain!
Sorceress of Grond!
Let others die!
Eager! Sorceress of Grond! Moving forward!
Get rid of those.
The weaklings use magic!
And there we go. It was a messy fight, but relatively comfortable. And we're in our own replenishment zone here. So we'll get replenishment. They will get replenishment too, because they'll retreat into their territory. But look at what we've done to Ostankya's army. She's lost all of her good stuff. And if you take a look at their kill totals, it's mostly the single entities that got kills there. The spiders did well, but the ranged units did very little, including the Akshina ambushers, because we used these to tie them down. That's the key to this strategy. And Ostankya's forces are now basically done. They survived with 5 things in the woods. Otherwise, it was a total wipeout. Yeah, I would have liked to see our Witch Elves and Demonettes take less damage, but it's fine. Obviously, you take the slaves after this battle. Okay, that's all done, so we're now going to head over to Arnheim. It's a decisive victory. I feel pretty confident auto-resolving that, and I don't particularly want to fight a walled siege. Not that it's hard, it's just tedious. Yeah, we're not going to lose any units, so we're just going to auto-resolve that. We're going to loot and occupy. Don't worry about building this place up for the moment. You're liable to lose it because bleak holds will re-emerge soon. You can normally get back in time, but why risk losing any money and growth on this? So for her, we're going to go the Withering and the Enfeebling Foe. For Morathi, she's now on rank 10. We're going to go Invasion Pit of Shades. For the Assassin, we will go Black Lotus. Oh, he's got another one. Okay, in that case, Piercing Shots. Go Weakness Abhorred and Sycophantic Schemer for the Masters. Oh, he's got another one, has he? Oh yeah, they ranked up really well. Stick one into training then. All good. And the Assassin's got another one as well. Lovely. Another into Piercing Shots then. The Spell Girls, we're going to go Full Burning Head and Kindle Flame for her. And this one, we will go Life Leeching and Double Soul Blight.
Phoenix Queen.
All good. Now, in one turn, we will be able to do the Sacrifice to Mathlan, which means we can get a Black Arc. That is obviously great for us. Now what I want to do is have a look at Scourge of Cain. Because sometimes you can get an early Confederation with them. There you go. We are going to take that. Got another couple of masters because of that. For the Shrine of Cain, let's get that because it builds up the garrison a bit.
What is your dark purpose?
Now, this might lead to war with Alarielle, war with, what's her name? Ss'ildra Tor, whatever. This just gives us a foothold on Ulthuan early. And for here, let's go with the public order one. Just get a bit of extra control here.
Yes. Cruel sorceress.
And from there, we got the commandment that we can go with here. I'm going to go public order because we do need to keep this under control. It's red territory. This has added to our expenses a fair bit, but we just have to kind of deal with that. It is nice to have Tor Anlek. And we're currently running 1 over capacity for masters, which is perfect from our perspective. And that's the end of this turn. Now, over the end turn, Ostankya declared war. Ostankya declared war. Ostankya offered peace. We chose violence. We're not making peace with her. And Alarielle declared war. Now, losing Toranlek, it's kind of to be expected here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this guy out of here because we can't defend it. Yeah, we're not going to be able to defend that against Alarielle with all of that. Not a chance. So we're going to bring these guys over to here, and we're going to put them inside the Shrine of Cain. These are going to come to... Hang on. Can we get across into their land and get a bit of raiding in? Yes, we can. Excellent. Alarion can come to there. And now we can do the Rite of Mathlan. And here at the Moon Shard, we can get a black... Oh, there's a free black arc. When does that come back? They'll be available for recruitment in one turn. We will hold up them. We will not get them straight away. We will recruit that free one that we got from Scourge of Cain next turn. But either way, if you didn't have the Confederation with Scourge of Cain, you just get a Black Arc at this stage. Battler's business for our research. We're only on turn 11. And we're doing this well, guys. That's pretty damn good overall, I'd say. Now, do we have recruitment at Shrine of Cain? Yes, we do, but it's shades, so it's expensive. But hey-ho. Tordranil. Yeah, it's making us some money. We'll leave it there. I'm expecting that to fall at some point very soon, though. That's okay. End the turn. Now, I'm not going to stand here trying to, like, make that a justifiable battle. Let's just let that go. Turn's over. We're going to go to Shrine of Cain. This one's going to come to here. We're going to have to fight this battle manually because that's a lot of troops, relatively speaking, a lot of missiles being fired, and that's 6 units of Exene archers, ambushers. That's why I say you've got to take them out early. You don't want them building up stack after bloody stack of those. Here, they must be recruited from a valid location. Okay, do you know what? It looks like something's glitching out here because that should be recruitable at the moment. Let's see if you can do it over here at Tordranil. Okay, so that looks like some kind of glitch there. There's no reason why we shouldn't be able to recruit that Black Arc. So in that case, we will just recruit it from here. And we are going to give... those units over to the Black Arc to save some money.
Morathi commands you. Fight. Drucchi.
And then she's going to come around here because she's going to do some recruitment for us. And let's just get on with this fight. I don't especially want to fight that as an auto-resolve. I'll fight it manually. You don't need to see this, though. Nice and simple. Battle done. Loot and occupy. And Morathi now has Sulafet, which means she's bordering on being a one-woman army. We're going to have a rebellion at Arnheim next turn. That's fine. We will deal with that in our own good time. Don't quite have enough slaves yet to... well, not even close to enough yet to speed build the Shrine of Cain. Let's try for some pacts with Seducers of Slaanesh. They like us a great deal. There we go. Get that trade income in. What's... Okay, one of the masters has got some stimulate growth that he can have. And while we've got that little bit of money, I'm going to recruit 2 units of basic shades to help out here in case we get attacked. The sooner we get that slave count up so that we can reinforce Shrine of Cain with the full Shrine of the Widowmaker, the better, because that boosts your garrison by 4 units.
I am Morathi.
Pit of Shades and Soul Stealer from Morathi. Actually, Pit of Shades and Tenacious, because that will give us more captives after battles, which gets our slave count up. For the Assassin, we will go enlist slaves, because we need more slaves. And for the Masters, we'll go hard to hit. For this one, you go Evasion. That was a spellcaster. Where's the other Master? There we go. Other Master, hard to hit. And this one, max out Soul Blight, that spellcaster. And we're doing okay here.
There's destruction everywhere.
End the turn. Okay, so it's turn 13. This spellcaster needs to start moving in this direction because she's going to be recruiting units that Morathi will have once she has dealt with everything in this area and handed over her army to the Black Ark. We're going to head up to Bleakhold Fortress. I feel like we can auto-resolve this now. No need to faff about. There we go. Easy auto-resolve. Loot and occupy, because there's already a rebellion in progress anyway. And that will be the end of Ostankya's faction. There you go. Daughters of the Forest gone.
Supreme Sorceress of Grant.
Another turn and we'll have those shades there just to help out. Have to watch out for beastmen attacks, as I've mentioned before. If they happen, they happen. Okay, we go stimulate growth here. And here. So these masters have now got maximum stimulate growth. That means that they can just act as like growth batteries for us. Flamestorm. And Evasion. And for this province, we'll go with growth. And that's the end of turn 13. Turn 14. Garrison of Arnheim is not particularly impressive, let's be real, but we're going to full speed the Black Ark to there. Don't worry about them taking it first attempt. They won't. Okay? Morathi can now forced march down to there because she's going to take that army out. This is just an opportunity to get some experience for our Black Ark while positioning him in a good spot to save us a bit of money because things are getting expensive. Now, this girl needs to come to Petrified Forest. And she needs to start recruiting basic dark shards, not with shields. Okay, Alarielle's coming over here. She's fancying her chances. But we just boosted our garrison. Just in time. Now, bear in mind, this part here, you might not necessarily be holding Shrine of Cain in your campaign. I just happened to get a nice early confederation with these guys. Yeah, we'll wait inside Shrine of Cain for now. What kind of spellcaster is she? I think she's death, isn't she? Yeah. Okay, that's fine. It's pretty pricey at the moment, but it's about to get cheaper. So we end this turn now. And there you see the benefit of what we did. She sent in 2 armies because we spent those slaves on those reinforcements. Even 2 armies is not enough to take us out. Now, we're going to lose a bunch of units here, but I think this is worth taking the auto-resolve on because, quite frankly, I don't think we'd win. Well, we might win, but it would be a pain in the ass. It is a minor settlement battle. I don't particularly like those anyway. I'm just going to take the auto-resolve. And Alarielle got trounced there. That was why I spent all those slaves on boosting up the Shrine of Cain. And we can claim the Sword of Cain if we want.
I am contemplating killing you.
Still not going to do any deals with the Skaven over here, even though it's profitable, you know. So we've now been besieged there. We got a lot of money for that win, guys.
Destroy them all. Morathi,
We're just going to
command.
take that auto-resolve.
Wolves make poor slaves.
Cult of Pleasure has Etain now coming for us. That's fine, because we've got Count Noctilus nearby as well. We got good terms with him. Now what we're going to do, we're going to
And despair.
give all of... Should we go for all of it?
Victorious.
Yeah, that will do. That is now all on the Black Ark, which means that our costs have now crashed through the floor.
I admire your darkness.
And we're now going to set out
The ocean
to attack Ulthuan, while Morathi heads over in this direction in forced march
You will.
to go and recruit more troops, because she's just given all of her troops basically to
Sorceress of the Dark Convent.
that general over there. So we've that Black Ark over there. So we're doing the recruitment over here, and when Morathi arrives, we'll give all these units over and then disband Alarielle. But as you can see, our finances are now actually in fantastic shape, comparatively speaking, considering where we were and how much of the negative we were in a second ago. Now, the Masters, we got a lot for that, so we'll go growth, training, growth, training.
They have their use.
She can go double Spirit Leech in case we need her to fight again. Life Leeching, double Soul Blight. Very productive day for her. And I'm going to say, let's get rid of the Shade building here. Oh, should we? No, let's get rid of that one at Tordranil. I don't think we're going to get attacked from there at the moment. And we can just get a basic barracks there. Probably should have done that a turn or so ago. But that's fine. Morathi. We will go Soul Stealer. For the Masters, we will go Martial Name of Power, definitely. Let's see what we get. Blood Scourge, that's the one. That's got regeneration. And this one... Blood Scourge, double Blood Scourge, that's a beauty. And we have a Death Sorceress to accompany Morathi, or go into another army when the time comes. Morathi can basically just train her. Meanwhile, this one is now pretty solid already because she's got Flame Storm, magical reserves. She's already pretty deadly. She's on a horse. We've got an Assassin for stealth in this army. We'll go for Scavenge. And for this guy, we'll go Route Marcher. And that army, as we've already seen, is really, really good for the job in hand. Tor Anlek won't necessarily be an easy take, but we can take it.
Who seeks me? Unrestrained.
Actually, let's get her inside the settlement now. And what we'll do here, Petrified Forest, speed build it. Not walls, barracks. Want a barracks here so we can get rid of a barracks there. Speed build that as well.
Dark power. Supreme sorceress of Grond.
Just in case the demolition affects that. And then we'll start building this up to tier 2. And then for our research, we'll go Driven by Vengeance. And end the turn.
What do you seek? Hags, sorceress of
Morathi just needs to keep hauling ass. This one can recruit more troops.
Tyrant of Nagaroth.
We can't quite reach Tordranil straight away. That's okay.
Feel my power.
But we will get a barracks here. Speed build it.
Unrestrained.
2 units of dark shards. As much as shades are lovely and everything, they are expensive for this stage of the campaign. Illyrian has declared war on us as well. They're there, so they might attack Tordranil. It's okay because we've got a Black Ark nearby. We'll take it back straight away.
The Sunderer, mother of the Drucchi.
And at this stage, let's repair all these places to get our public order in order, so to speak. And for here, we can go for that control right if we want, but we don't really need to right now. Here, let's go for walls so that we don't have to keep going back and defending this location. I'm going to say we don't need to speed build it right now because we're not in any great particular trouble for public order. And then I'm going to say let's go for growth here. Not going to put into petrified. Maybe we could to get artillery, but to be fair, Morathi doesn't especially need artillery. So yeah, we'll hold off on that. Is the Black Ark ready to be upgraded yet? We could build the growth building, but I'm going to wait the 4 turns for boosting the Black Ark up to full Black Ark status. That's the end of this turn, turn 16. Turn 17, we have got some beastmen there. Not very many of them. I think they'll make fine slaves. I also think Morathi can probably win this fight by herself. Close my ass. But I thought that manually, she would have just zipped around above them. Ooh, that spellcaster got pretty badly hurt, didn't she? Manblight tribe is gone. Morathi can head in this direction and start recruiting for herself. This girl, Alarielle, who has done great for us, by the way, can now hand over the units she's recruited to Morathi. And she can give up her evil choir master as well. And she can take a well-earned break. Morathi can have Spiteful Conjuration, almost at Greater Arcane Conduit for her. And then we will put the Black Ark in. Let's just put the Black Ark here for the moment, because we've now hit turn 17 and we're more or less completely in charge here. By holding here, we can just give this one enough time to recruit a few units so it can back up the garrison that's in there. Our finances are in reasonable shape. Obviously, it's double recruitment time. Do you know what? We might as well go for Shades then. It is double recruitment time for Dark Shards, but not for Shades. That's very, very peculiar. But regardless, we are going to call it quits there, guys, because you've seen what you need to see. Let's review what we've done here. We've wiped out Mother Ostankya. We've taken 2 whole provinces. And we have established a foothold on Ulthuan. We're in a strong position here. We've wiped out Alarielle's army and another army there. That was just largely fortuitous. We would have, if we'd have fought that battle manually, we would have won as well. I just don't like fighting them, and the auto-resolve was fine, so I took it. But we've got our foothold in Ulthuan. Now, maybe you're thinking at the moment, what if I don't get the Confederation with Scourge of Cain? That's fine, because you'd still be getting this foothold on Ulthuan anyway, if you want it, because this Black Ark would arrive and take Tor Dranil, or Scourge of Cain would be there, and we'd move on to look at somewhere like Tor Anlek, which ordinarily Alarielle will have taken by that stage, and that's our first target due here. Once we've protected this place for long enough to just get a couple of extra units in here to help protect Shrine of Cain on land. We've got good relations with Nakari, and around here we have got territory that we can expand into. So Morathi's recruiting a new army. She can then use that to either go south and attack Hexuatl, or she can wipe out the Skaven first and then look at going south to deal with Hexuatl, or she can look to go and fight with the Sisters of Twilight. It's all set and ready to go. Now that Ostankya's gone, you've got a clear spot. Like, this is just a money farm over here with the Skaven. Just go in and wipe them out. They don't stand a chance against Morathi by herself when she's on Sulafet and with Pit of Shades. So 2 whole provinces, most of a province on Ulthuan. We'll get Tor Anlek back shortly. And lots of expansion room. Money's in a good place. Yeah, we'll go into a further deficit while we're giving Morathi a proper army. But that's absolutely fine. That's what this game's all about. We're going to expand. We're going to conquer. It's going to be pretty simple from here, guys. So I'm hoping this video has been helpful to you, or at the very least that you've enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed it, found it helpful, or both, I'd appreciate it if you hit like and subscribe and all that other good stuff, and came along when I release my next guide, which hopefully won't be too long. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Really hope you've enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon.